I pretty much forgot everything I was going to say. Anyways, as you can see,
this is my path.
I'm just kind of sitting out here in the jungle. I'm here in training mode, just kind of wandering around. And that's kind of where I've been the past few weeks. Now, a lot of you have probably seen a certain article that came out a few weeks ago about the state of things at Riot Games. And if you're watching on YouTube, the link to it will be in the description, along with Riot's response to it. And I'll let that speak for itself.
The whole world in balance.
And yeah, I wish it was in balance. I guess it's one of the reasons why I like Soraka, is that she's all about that balance. I wonder if I can go and kill this scuttler. There's not much else to do. There's no minions, and there's no other champions. It's kind of lonely, actually, with nobody around. But hey, maybe I can do this on my own.
This is my path.
I'm back here, Rift Scuttler.
Where am I needed?
Anyway, I was kind of put off by what I'd read in that article. My interest in the game kind of dwindled. And
such hatred in their hearts.
Well, yeah, and that's the problem too. Soraka's got some key lines today.
For peace of mind.
And I'm hoping for some of that peace of mind that Soraka talks about. But and Riot's response to the article was encouraging. Better than I Noob. Better than I initially expected. And I'm gonna wander over here. I did get the scuttler. Not that it does much. Here, I'm gonna hit the blast. Watch my noobish attempt. Watch it. I'm gonna boom! Get over here. I can't kill that. I'm Soraka. I got boots at least. I can just do that by wandering around for 10 minutes. Anyway.
I heed their call.
Yeah, the turrets aren't even firing. It's not much fun.
Where am I needed?
When there's no minions and there's no opponents. I mean, you can do stuff. You wander around, interact with the scenery. There's another risk of kill that thing. That's what I can do. And to be expected, Riot's response hasn't been perfect, but at least it's been encouraging. And I happened to go to PAX, and I went by the booth, and they were doing some things to help out women and non-binaries in the game industry, which I think is overdue. I mean, well, think about it this way, like, if you took out all the female champions in League of Legends, what would it look like?
The whole world in balance.
But even that doesn't really capture the feeling. I don't think so anyway.
A new journey.
I'm gonna buy stuff. like that, the needlessly large FOD. It's a power item. It's just raw power, and sometimes you want to feel that way. That's one of the things that it's one of the fantasies that you get to do. Is you get to feel more powerful than you usually do in your normal life.
Heal and protect.
And there may be a few people who can honestly say that that's never what they want.
For peace
but
of mind.
There's also quite a few people who I think might say that and would be lying. And there may be some people
I heed their call.
who that's all they're looking for, but there might be just as many people who say that's all they're looking for, and they'd be lying too. But it's one of the things that's nice. Just that being able to affect your environment. I really suck at this. I didn't even take Smite. I'm not a good kiter. Yeah, the game really isn't. The game really isn't quite the same without the minions and the towers and the opponents. And I want to go so far as to say that
this is my path.
That the more people there are playing League of Legends, the more lively and vibrant the environment gets. It's one of those games that's set up for it, and it also lets the business model flourish. Alienating a good chunk of the player base, whether, let's say, they only play bot games,
Violence cannot go
or
unanswered.
they only play one character, champion, noob. But alienating any big chunk of the player base is generally a bad idea. Now, there's a big difference between mildly angering or even angering a player base or frustrating them or putting them off for a while and completely alienating a player base or part of the player base. And as for what Riot does to do those things, we can't really do much about that other than submit feedback, of course.
The whole world in balance.
And, well, generally stop playing if the game isn't what we want it to be. That's everyone's got the freedom to do that. But
every step
as players, we can only control our own actions. And this doesn't just go for our not just League of Legends, but any game that we play, especially any game that has a community, which most do.
This is my path.
Especially games where you play together and communicate during the game. We can control our actions, and the ones that can potentially alienate a player, or a type of player, or a group of players. And if we want a game like this one, which, if you're watching this, I hope that you enjoy it, or you're a masochist and just like to do things that you don't like. I don't know. I'm not going to delve too deep into that. But if you enjoy this game, want it to keep going, and games like it, where it's free to play and pay what you want to get decorations,
for peace of mind,
it would do us well not to alienate part of the player base.
I lend my aid.
But that's just a practical consideration. That's just about whether or not we want to keep playing. And that's not really at the core of things.
Where am I needed?
Do I have enough to get this thing? It doesn't matter. I'm still not gonna. I'm still a support champion. I'm still not going to be able to. Well, okay. If I was a little better, if I wasn't sort of new about it, I might be able to. And we're going to do a. Oh, wait, there's I've got a watcher. There's Scarlett Lee Dragon. And she says hello. I say hello back. And that was a. And I just got a comment from the background. Do you want to come over and add some furthermores to that one?
Hey all. My name is Shailyn. I am a mother, a gamer, and a teacher. And I was really part of Urzin's, while he was reading the riot article and watching his face get all angered, and, you know, helping him go through what he felt for, you know, having a player base ignored. And what's really interesting is when we went to Emerald City Comic-Con, no, not the Comic-Con, the Penny Arcade Expo, PAX. We went to PAX Prime, and it was still something that really weighed heavily on our mind. And the reason why I bring it up right now is Scarlett Lee Dragon is sometimes also helps out on this channel, and you will see here on the YouTube channel. You should also check out her YouTube channel at Scarlett Lee Dragon for YouTube. But she is someone that I really respect, and she's young, and she's wanting to get into this community and be a gamer and be a designer and a you know, creator for content. And when you are wanting someone to, you know, be part of that community and they're young, you know, we worry about them. You know, is she going to be okay with, you know, getting into a place where she's going to get death threats and rape threats and, you know, things like this? This not only alienates player base, but this also tells her that, you know, it eats on her own self-worth. One of the things that we forget is, since everybody plays, there's no reason why we should alienate a group of people from being able to use that as a way to learn, as a way to connect with each other. There is more that connects us than separates us. And it doesn't need to be an us or them. You're not going to lose your ability to play. You know, there's not going to be less play there for you just because somebody else also decides that they want to be there. It does not make them less of a gamer or a fake gamer if they are sitting there and showing just as much passion for it as you are. It's not something that they're going to try and get attention to. It's not something that they spend tons of money crafting cosplays for. Scarlett Lee Dragon dresses up for cosplay for PAX every year for the past 4 years. This is not something that, you know, happens part-time. And that's my rant. Being able to be female and a gamer means that I got to connect with guys that were interested in the same things. That was noobish. He's just like, I'm gonna poke it with a stick.
Well, it was just, it didn't do. There.
Why are you? Okay, see, I don't play League of Legends. That's the other thing. Like, I have watched all of the things that have been happening around Riot Games as an outsider, as a third party. So don't judge. I am a casual gamer.
Is that because she's female? No, it's more individual personality.
It is my individual.
Scarlett
loves jigs and blowing crap up with guns.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Scarlett's a DPS.
She is.
And I, well, if you've watched this channel at all,
yeah,
and you notice that the character that I chose here, the champion I chose here, I could take down this Infernal Drake. I don't know. I think I may be taking too big of a bite here.
I think you did too. He's just like, nom nom nom, silly me person.
There. It doesn't root you, but I'll cast it anyway because it does a little damage. Oh, can I get it? It's close.
Can you heal yourself before you?
No. So it doesn't work quite that way. Oh,
you got it!
Down goes the Infernal Drake.
Holy crap! That was good. I thought he was going to eat you.
But I managed to just conserve things, use every bit of my resources and items that I really shouldn't have of Soraka. But
yes, but that was worth it. Well done. Not a noob mood. Are you a jungler, Soraka?
well, not really. Like I said,
What are you supposed to be doing?
wandering around and talking right now.
Oh, is this a training?
Yeah, this is just it's the training mode.
Oh, this is the tutorial.
It's not the tutorial. It's the it's practice mode.
Oh, so we're just. Okay.
I've got most of the game elements turned off.
Except for the frog that makes you look tasty. Let me look at those mushrooms on your back, bro. See how tasty you are.
Yeah,
That's purple and blue. That is nasty.
well,
Major props to the creators of that, because they're just like, well, how can we make this frog worse? Oh, I know. Let's put mushrooms on his back, because we all know that licking a frog will make you gross. Really?
yeah, no.
No, don't do that.
Chris Hitler.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah,
Then I really
there are
like
some
frog-
champions that can solo Baron with a full kit, and this is not one of them. But yes,
Well, he will never suspect the banana.
as I was saying before, yes, me as as a guy, I rather enjoy Stardew Valley, and I play support.
Yes.
And
You played support in World of Warcraft before you even got into League of Legends.
yeah, I was a healer, and that's always what I've been. And so there's no reason to even classify people based on gender.
No, that's ridiculous.
and-
Well, okay.
And yeah, this is something, and it's not just confined to gender. There's other things, and
It's like, you
I
didn't see
didn't-
me for a second. Hey,
didn't
Noob, I'm gonna hit you in the back of your head.
ouch. But yeah, and okay. Anyways, as you were saying, sorry,
Yeah, no,
I kind
it's
of like jumped
that's,
in.
That's part of it. That's why you do this, and why I support you doing this, because we need more guys to sit there and step up and say, "Hey, guys, we're being dumb." You need to be able to have people around you that can call you out, saying, "Hey, this is a dumb idea."
There
And,
you go.
I worry about Scarlett and what she's going to be doing.
And what kind of world she's going to be facing when she does eventually get into the industry.
Yeah,
And
she wants to go to Digipen, which is a premier school. It's like the Oxford of game design, and there's a huge male population there. And am I going to be worried about what's going to happen to her while she's off at college and getting
Yeah.
into? I'm sure there's an appropriate.
And she's already had the experience of having to face her peers telling her
Yeah.
that they wouldn't play with her because she was
a girl.
a girl. And well, she doesn't. She's like, okay, I guess I won't play with them anymore.
That's true. At least she's got the self-esteem and her own securities that sit there and say, I don't need to play with you. I've got these people over here. It's...
Where am I needed?
But that's what it comes back to you when you're talking about, what alienates people. It loses business. It loses connecting with other humans. It loses our ability to be social and, share in interests that we're passionate about.
Well, and it also hurts people.
It also hurts people. It freaking
And-
sucks.
And there's a percentage of people out there, and I know because of what humans are like, and we don't always care about each other all the time, and unless you're a sociopath, you do care about people some of the time, and really, and we can't just say thicken up your skin, because it's not up to the person. It's not up to the person receiving the things to have to deal with it. It's up to the person originating it. And like I said, I can't control anyone's behavior,
No.
and I can't even really tell you what specifically to do and not to do. I can and I did a lot of thinking about it, and
learned
really I think weeks.
For every week that there was not a stream, there was this, deep philosophy of how am I going to approach.
Really, there's not a heck of a lot of excitement in an incomplete game. Some things it's still technically playable.
It is playable, but there's nobody with you.
I still want to keep playing, but not an incomplete game. And I said it feels. And it always has, really, from the time that the Switch was made to advertise games more towards guys. We're not perfect, and I don't want anyone to think that they have to be perfect. I'm not going to try and tell you to do anything specific or make a list of prohibited activities. We're gamers, and we're quite capable of ignoring the spirit of things, and saying that we followed the directions was still wrong, and so if you really want to find out, the best thing I can do is to say, for specific things you could do, is go and open up and go and listen to what women are saying about what they've had to deal with, and any other groups that have been marginalized, just as gamers have been over the years at times. That's another issue we'll go into another time, but listen. And actually open up and think about it. And instead of coming up with excuses or reasons, understand it. Think about it.
Oh, don't attack Mom and her little babies! They're gonna eat your face! I have a new glove! Yay!
Hades is more like the RA, right?
Yeah, he is everybody's dorm mother. I'm sorry, but you have failed to any
world in the world named Soraka. You might get another.
Do not convince your girlfriend to play just because you need a healer.